Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly SIG Compute meeting. Nice to see you all. As you know, we have until January 7th until the web freeze, but since we get into the holiday season, it's a bit more tight than that. So first of all, before my topic here, if anyone needs special attentions for the rep, maybe this is a good time to raise them. And if not, I wanted to go through the web tracker again just to see that everything that we track for this release is marked as tracked. This is important because only for webs that are marked tracked, the approved web label is going to appear on their PRs, which is important for to give them priority. Um, so I see someone writing here. Do you want to raise your voice?
Yeah, it's me. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it regard Web 100. It has to do with adding metadata, custom metadata to Cloud Init configuration. So there was an agreement or a consensus that there should be some limit on the custom metadata that can be added. But what is not clear is if it's based on the number of custom metadata or the size. I just wanted to be sure of that. Yeah, so but the last time it was like I think there was we agreed 16 custom metadata, but I mean, I was just thinking it through there. Should it be based on the number of custom metadata or the size?
Um, could you perhaps point to the original comment? What was it about? I think in the past we had an issue that the fields on this metadata they can be. I mean, they're not size limited. So
Yes.
I would think that maybe what we want is to limit the field itself, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to just clarify. If it's I mean, if size, because you're just um saying 16 fields. I mean, that doesn't feel sufficient, especially if the fields are very large, or if you're
Okay.
adding custom metadata that are large. So I think size would actually be better. But I just wanted to be sure.
Any thoughts, anyone?
Yeah, size sounds reasonable to me. I mean, we can have a lot of small ones that do not exceed a certain size, but we can have also a large one which exceeds the size, so explodes it. So yeah, probably better to look after the size of them.
Okay. So size, right? So about what size should we be looking at? How many MB or KB? Not sure.
What was the upper limit for a CRD again, in general?
Um,
I think it was
so
something around a megabyte or 2 megabytes.
2 megabytes.
2 megabytes.
I think it's around 1.5 or so. Yeah, it's but it has to be, it means it has to be lesser than that, right? Maybe 1 megabyte.
I think it's always generally better to start with a conservative approach and then relaxing it if necessary in the future. But I don't know like which exact value you should choose.
Okay. So maybe we can go for 0.5K because it's just a metadata, right? And because the CRD is not supposed to exceed 2 MB, right? So I think it makes sense if the custom metadata is in kilobyte instead of going as large as MB.
I mean, from the top of my head, it sounds reasonable. Maybe we can take some, real life examples and see what's their size and if it makes sense. But sounds generally fine.
Okay.
Whoever is sharing screen, can you show the API struct in question, please?
So if I understand correctly, we're talking about like the amount of metadata that we would
Yes.
allow.
Yes, exactly.
So I think there can be a limit on the number of values of number of keys in this struct, right? So that we don't need a webhook for that. You can syntactically do that as a expression in the struct type itself. So that will limit the number of keys you have in the metadata. The only thing there would be the length of values will not be captured.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of using KB or some heuristic in terms of kilobyte to restrict the size. If you want to do kilobytes of data, you might as well use a secret or something like that. That is not in the VM object, right? A VM object is not supposed to be filled with metadata that is kilobytes of size. So I think
agree.
16 keys and each key with like 256 characters value, I think that would be a reasonable starting point.
Okay, so keys and characters. 250 characters. So if one of the metadata, if one of the keys is more than 250 characters, do we throw an error or we just set condition?
No, I think we should not allow that VM to be created.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Yeah, what I like about this approach is it's much more, easy to understand because converting, size to amount of characters or something like that is something that, is hard to wrap the head around. But, having this and that amount of keys and this and that amount of characters in each one, it's really easy to understand.
All right. Thanks. That's all on my end.
Thank you. So any other topics before we go on this table? Let me just sort it. So all of these steps, all of these proposed for consideration, basically it means that we don't really officially track them for the upcoming release. Is there anything here that should be set to track that you folks are identifying? We can go through them one by one, really quickly.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I think.
Sorry, I can tell you that the network policy web could be dropped, of course, from this because we have done it in the release 1.17. Okay, maybe already gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Oh,
Okay.
here it is. Deploy network policy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I set it to remove from milestone. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
No worries. So yeah, Vladik, you were saying? You are muted.
Yeah, sorry. No, let's just go through all of them. I approve this one, but I don't remember if there are any open questions left.
I think all open questions for this were addressed.
Perfect. So we're just looking for somebody to +1 it.
I think Matthias still had to make some minor tweaks. He's on PTO right now.
And do you know when he's coming back?
He should be back before the web freeze, I think. I'll have to check.
Okay, but bear in mind that, by the way, I will be working fully during the holiday season. So feel free to ping me if you want to do the tweaks before the freeze. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, vGPU live migration. I see many reviews on this one. Is there anything specific that needs attention?
I think there's from my side at least, there's a major concern about how this will work in general, because there's a lot of NVIDIA specific things that we can do, but we cannot make it generic. I'm not sure. I think Lubo is the last one who looked at it.
What was your question, Malik? Sorry.
The vGPU web, are we close to anything, or is it still up in the air?
I didn't had a second round on it, so I need to have a look on the replies.
Okay,
but I think we were quite close. I didn't have like major asks.
Okay, we need to look into this again.
I just had a look at the Barak works, and I saw that we ended up feature gating the hooks.
Yes.
Was the feature? So that's a problem for this web. And was the feature gate is the feature gating so that it's enabled by default and someone can disable it, or the other way around?
The feature gate enables this functionality. It's a little bit tricky because we don't know whether the hook on the target will do the right thing, right? We need some kind of some time to see that we don't run into issues, because otherwise there's no way to disable the hook. So the feature gate is
right.
Is
that's what I'm saying. So maybe we should have a feature gate to disable it. So if it doesn't work for whatever case, then somebody can opt out. But like, I don't see somebody now, enabling this feature gate just to test this. Like internal change, because for user, they don't see value, like they are not limited, so why should they enable this, right?
Yeah, but for tests we will enable it, right? This is specifically going to happen on upgrades. I think my main concern was about upgrades. So someone will start upgrading and everything will start failing apart, and then there's no way to kind of disable it. And we are not in I mean, we didn't finish 1.7. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we definitely.
Yeah, I get you, but then we should make sure that we have a test for it. And I agree with having a feature gate as safety that we can pull in case something we missed. But yeah, like definitely. So if we have a feature gate there, that needs to be reflected here because otherwise that doesn't work. And that feature gate needs to be GA before this GA. So and somebody needs to know that both of these needs to be enabled. So either we switch the feature gate to a safe plug. So by default we will be doing this, but for whatever reason we let out the option to not do it. And then I think it's fine here. Otherwise, I think this needs to be updated with, hey, this is dependent on this. That needs to be first. Otherwise, we risk that we just do something bad.
I mean, I don't see a problem, especially at the alpha phase, to simply document this depends on another feature gate, enable them both together.
Yeah,
or
right.
maybe
But
I
just
misunderstood.
no. I'm not saying it's a issue. I'm just saying that one of these needs to happen.
So let's comment on this PR that it needs to explicitly say that it depends on the other feature gate. I think we already made this. Well, yeah, let's just comment.
What's the name of the feature gate? Oh, never mind. Good enough. Okay, then. So I guess we'll leave it as is. What about this one?
Not sure we can converge on this one, or did we, Vladik?
LGTM approve and hold, they say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really have a lot of reservations from this feature, especially like the dependency. But it feels that well, at least I agree with Nir that tested most of the scenarios here, saying that eventually will fail in all cases. So for alpha, from my point of view, it's fine. But I mean, I just want some kind of a more tangible dependency between the two, and I'm not sure how to get it right now.
Yeah, I'll also try to have another look on this one. Okay, so I guess we'll leave it as is for now. Okay, this one we just talked about. I think it's getting close to being merged, right? Nothing major here. All right. Yeah, Vladik, do we have web PR for this one? Oh, yeah.
We do. I think we're lacking
No,
reviews.
no, actually, we were going to pivot here, so this is not going to. I'm waiting for Michael to open a different one. I think I'll close this one.
Okay. So is it okay if I set it to deferred or remove from milestone or something?
No, I mean, I mean, in general, Michael is just going to use a different field and then move it to himself under himself. But I mean, I think it should. Well, I'm not sure. Let's wait a bit with this. I'll close the PR, but Michael should open a different one.
Okay. And this is still targeted for 1.8?
I would like to.
Maybe you say. Okay, let's leave it for now. Yeah, okay. I think that this one got a lot of attention, and it's not far from being approved, I think. Yeah, and I think that like we all agree on most of the stuff here. I think that the VEP used maybe too much implementation details inside that caused like a side discussion. But I think that we all are fine with the main design.
For me, the implementation details are important to get a good understanding of what's going to happen. So,
Yep. Yeah, I do have to say that I did advocate for a better terminology because everything is a hypervisor. But yeah, we could. I mean, it doesn't have to block the PR in any way. So cool. I will give this another look, but I think it's really close to being LGTM by everyone. Okay, wait a second. So I see that Daniel asks to remove this one for this one.
I would keep it as a tracker, but maybe just leave it out from 1.8.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
It's not, it's not clear to me if we even going to pass the enhancement in upstream, even though they were like very up, not pushing away. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's set it to defer then, or remove from milestone.
By the way, Itamar, maybe something for you to watch if you are still the Wrangler.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll get more into this. So let's put it to deferred. Alrighty. Moving to this one, PCIe NUMA topology awareness. Vladik, do you want to say something?
I want to say that I don't want a new field on VMI. I like what this web is doing. I like everything here. I understand that we need to persist the previous behavior. So that's my suggestion, but I don't want any new fields on the VMI.
I'll give this another look.
I mean, for alpha, this might be fine, but I don't know. For wider adoption, if you already know that you need to turn it off sometimes. It's not only about like VMs which are in the cluster and you upgrade and keep them. It's also about VMs which you restore as well. So
yeah, so VMs that I restart, I have a status that says that
not restart, sorry, restore, like backup restore.
Restore. Okay.
So that would act as a new VM, but we would treat it as a VM that can have NUMA awareness. But the opposite might be true.
I'm not sure. I mean, we don't have enough protection from this. There can be an annotation, and by the way, this was going to be stored in the VMI status. So yeah, I don't see how an API field right now fixes this behavior.
So, may I ask, what's the issue with having an API field? Is it concerning that we'll have backward compatibility issues with the API field?
The API field. Why am I not like? Why don't I like it? Or
Yes.
because I don't think that this behavior needs to be enabled or disabled through an API. This is we need to expose NUMA. That should be our default behavior. The problem here is with the old Windows VMs that we had in the past. So these old Windows VMs, they need to be. They probably want to opt out from this and still present the previous behavior. But and then for these old VMs, I think we can have an escape hatch with just preserving in the status that the Newman topology was not advertised back at the time, and then provide an annotation that will just disable this. I mean, opt out from this. But in general, I don't think that we need. I mean, just from API perspective, we don't need to enable this functionality. It's just something that has to be there. That's how we build the new controllers.
Yeah, I think so. If you're using annotation as an API, you might as well use an API field.
No, this is not an annotation for an API. It's an annotation for those who basically had the previous VMs, like an old Windows VM, that were started without this topology, and they want to remove that. To remove that, we are this NUMA aware PCI topology applied true or false. They want to remove this from the field, from the status field. So that would just be like a one-time thing that would just remove it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying once those corner cases are handled, you expect nobody to use this annotation going forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, in that case, it makes more sense. I thought I misunderstood as this annotation to be available for use forever.
Oh no, no.
Vladik, and what about some really old software that you want to run and it's not NUMA ever, or something like that?
But we don't do anything NUMA aware. We just create controllers.
It's up to the whether it's the Windows kernel or the Linux kernel to recognize the NUMA stuff, right? We just set it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry to wrap this up, but we're after time already. So yeah, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, whatever it is you celebrate, and yeah, I'll see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.